Christmas dessert, Brazilian style. Coconut and egg yolk cake. How are we doing? This is Martin from Gardens for Life. So it's Christmas 2020 and it's really cold outside here in the Midlands of Ireland, and I wanted to just say thank you to all of you guys that have supported us over all these years. We've been active with our YouTube channel and our website and our little online shop too, and I want to say happy Christmas, have a good one, and we will see you in the new year. We'll probably still have 1 or 2 videos coming out in the next couple of weeks, and we will share some of our plans and inspirations in this video. Just some ideas that we have on how to develop our garden projects a little bit further and how to make them a little bit more productive in the coming year. And I think it's going to be one hell of a year because we have a lot of plans, and although planning has never been really our strong point, we like to just go with the flow and actually expand the gardens one bit at a time, and basically do what we can in the time that we have besides our busy lives working, and we have a family life too, and you know yourself, when you have a household, you have a lot of other work that goes with that too. So as you probably all know, that we do the gardening just on the side. And I'm just here in the middle of our wood chip island, and we have some awesome plans for this one. I mean, we started the wood chip island basically in 2019 at the start of the summer, basically about May, and we put down lasagna garden beds. Basically all of it has been planted with perennial crops, mostly in bits and pieces, but we had been growing vegetables here last year, annual vegetables such as corn and courgettes and beans and all the rest, and this year we mostly grew ochas and a few mashuas as well, and still some Jerusalem artichokes, which we regard as perennial crop. And what we're going to do with this area here this year, or sorry, I should say next year, in 2021, we're going to plant it up with specimen plants, so plants that we're looking to take cuttings from, and it's going to be really exciting. We've already done a lot of that over here, just in the actual expansion of the wood chip island, which we did in late summer last year. And take a look at it. There's some fruit trees here and some strawberries and lots of currants, different types of currants, and some flowering plants and shrubs as well. And we're looking to expand this idea into the original part of the wood chip island too. So yeah, so the wood chip island is going to be transformed. And it has been transitioning anyway since last year from a mixed annual perennial polyculture garden into a little food forest, or forest garden I should say. And it's going to be really exciting because we're going to have lots of new different types of plants. We already do have some fig trees here and some various different currants and gooseberries and goji berries and all kinds of different other plants, and we're going to basically plant it up with perennials and shrubs and berry bushes in particular, and maybe even we'll do a few trellises for grapes as well. So the actual wall garden, as many of you will know, has been got its name from the wall itself over here, which is actually a wall that was built about in the mid 18th century, probably during the times of famine, we believe. And you can see here that the garden itself is doing really well. We have some elephant garlic here, some rainbow chard, and some carrots, still some mashuas to harvest, and some ullucus, some ochas and tiger nuts, and more ochas, yacon and kale. So you can see this garden has been extremely productive for us, and we will be expanding it over here. As you can see, we've already got some compost and cardboard in place, and we're going to expand it and widen it a little bit and make a nice clean edge here towards the grass. So we'll have less grass to deal with next year, and we have not been mowing it with a tractor. We've just been mowing it with a hedge clipper, basically, where it's a proper hedge clipper, a petrol one, and basically it'll be so much less maintenance next year, this entire garden here, because we'll have covered a lot of the garden space, or sorry, a lot of the field, the grasses, with actual grow space. So with you know, the compost lasagna, the usual market garden style beds anyway, where you would kill the grass either with plastic or the help of a chicken tractor, or possibly with cardboard in places, and then just basically covered it with about 10 inches of compost, or 25 centimeters. And we're going to also make some, the paths will just be lightly basically drizzled with wood chips, so that we can keep clean feet to walk on them. And the beds are standard sizes as well, so we can grow anything in those beds. We could grow some vegetables, some tubers for next winter, and also some plants. We'd like to grow some perennials as well. We'll probably start them off in the greenhouse as seedlings, or grow them into seedlings in the greenhouse, and then plant them out into those beds. And that's going to be a really productive one, because I believe we can then take those up next winter and then basically either sell them on the internet, bare root, or we could use them elsewhere. We could use them, pot them up, or put them in other projects, put them into other gardens wherever we need them. And you can also see we have our nursery here as well. We have a lot of new plants that have been potted up this year, actually quite a few, and we're very excited about those. Here's some lavender. They're only small yet, but it's a really good variety of lavender. We still have a few crates here, as you can see, with cuttings. We have more at the house too. We have our original nursery at the house, and some currants that need to be repotted. And yeah, in the greenhouse we're going to build doors. Finally, we're going to actually put doors into the greenhouse, but we don't really want them at the moment because we have good ventilation in here. So you can see here, this greenhouse was built this year in around April and May, and we only had this growing space in the middle here, these completely over exaggerated raised beds. There's about 50 centimeters of compost here, as you can see, but they were very productive and it worked very well. And we're going to cover the paths, the middle sections here and here. We're going to cover those in compost too, and then put a little pat of wood chips above. And basically, in order to give the access to the roots for just even underneath the paths, so we're not wasting any growing space. This will be a little kind of like a little indoor food forest, or like a subtropical food forest, if you would like to call it that, because a lot of the plants that we grow here they're not winter hardy. So I'm sure they will all die back in the winter anyway, same as these Apios tubers in the corner here at the edge. And we have some of the Madeira vines, which you have a new video about actually. And we have some yacons here. There's not much left of them, as you can see. Goji berry and plenty of figs here. And we also have some more figs and Mashua and some of the Corsican mint. Such a good smell, and I can't wait to try it in teas. We've been propagating it thanks to Charles that gave us some of them to start with. And we have also got our little nursery here in the back of the tunnel, and we're going to have these probably going to automate watering in here next year. We're going to have IBC tanks at the end of the tunnel and have a barrel and an actual gutter along the side of the outside of the greenhouse on the west side, which is where it rains more. And then we're going to harvest that rainwater and pump it up with a 12-volt pump. And we've had a lot of experience, good experience with a 12-volt pump already. We can run it off a battery and charge that battery with a little solar panel. So that's the plan, and pump the water from the barrel up into the IBC tanks. IBC tanks are simply 1,100 litre water tank, just like this one here. So they're really good, they're really cheap, they're about 60 euro second hand, and they're perfectly fine to use for storing water for the garden. Especially, we're anticipating another drought, of course. Now, I haven't heard it on the news or anything like that, but this year's drought was actually quite substantial, because it didn't rain much at all. In Ireland, it's very unusual for it not to rain for about 2 months. It rained about 3 times in 2 months, and we've had awful struggle with water. So we're gonna gather a lot more rainwater, and this structure, this greenhouse itself, actually finally enables us to actually capture water here in this garden, because there's actually no water connection, and I wouldn't use tap water anyway for that purpose. So you can see here there's lots of other plants that are still going. The Mexican sunflowers, hopefully they'll come back. Lots of the red hot pokers going as well. And you can see the floor has been covered in plastic to kill off the grass, but we're going to cover it in wood chips once we get some delivered. And you can see we already have some compost back here. There's a full load of compost here. That's about 20 tons of it. Maybe less, maybe 17 tons or so. And there's 2 more loads of compost over there. And the plan is to basically kill off this grass one way or another, and then cover this area with compost, and then we'll make basically garden beds, probably the same width as we normally do, which is 75 centimeters in width, or 30 inches. That's the standard, and that makes it really easy to step over the beds. And then the paths are about 1 foot wide, so comfortable enough. And the paths actually have, this is really important, the paths will have compost underneath. So we're going to cover the entire area with compost, and then we're going to drizzle, literally just drizzle 1 inch or 2 of wood chips on the paths in order to walk on them and to keep clean feet and to keep it comfortable to work in the garden. And we can very easily grow any type of crops in those beds as well. Basically, I think we are going to step up our game next year on growing more vegetables for ourselves, but also to grow more perennial plants, insectary plants that bring beneficial insects into the garden, but also especially our focus will be on perennial vegetables, and that's going to be awesome. We can't wait. We're going to grow lots of scarlet, we're going to grow dahlias, really nice edible dahlias, and actually all of them are edible, but some of them taste better than others. And plenty of berry bushes and all the rest. We're going to we have lots of different seeds already gotten, and some new varieties of tuberous vegetables as well, and we're really excited about those, because the more we can grow, the more productive we can make this garden, the better value we can give you guys, our audience. And we want to offer all of these vegetables, especially the perennial vegetables and berry bushes as well, to you guys, and we really appreciate your support when you are buying some of those from us. But we want to give you the best value that we possibly can. We want to make it as cheap as possible so that you can make a proper start with your garden yourself at home, and we'll even show you how to propagate your own berry bushes and tubers plants from those starts once you've grown them for a year. So that way you could either share those with your friends, or you could expand your gardens and actually get them going proper into production. So you get a lot of production then. And there's another neighbour. And I'm just here at the top of the lane, and all the neighbours go by here and they always beep at us and we wave them. The Wainers coming. And you can see the wood chip island is going to be probably the least maintenance of them all, and we're probably going to cover the whole thing with a little bit of wood chips again, put a small bit of fresh wood chips, just a wheelbarrow here and there, and we'll let the strawberry plants, which you can see here, we let them expand, and eventually they'll cover the entire wood chip island. And there's different varieties planted in different places, and you can see that we have plenty of perennial kale, and that's actually Portuguese kale, but we have 2 or 3 more varieties of perennial kale for next year, and we're really excited about those too. And hopefully I can get a couple of cuttings from this North German kale. It's perennial as well, from Heiko up in Portaferry permaculture, and we'll be very excited about the Cork. I believe it's a Cork or Kerry variety as well. It's sent what is it? Uncle John's kale, that's the name of it. Does somebody here like to eat kale? You like kale?
Yeah.
He even eats it raw, straight off the bush in the garden, not a bothering him. So here I am now in our old nursery, and we've got some plans for this area too, and this little greenhouse. Here's some cuttings that are rooting, as you can see, and here are some more. It's mostly semi-hardwood cuttings, and all these ochas will be harvested, and we'll make some videos of some of those too. And there's some strawberries in crates and all the rest. Here's our smaller greenhouse, which is basically just tables and used for seed, starting plants from seed. And you can see there's also plenty of tubers here at the moment. Jerusalem artichokes and marshmallow. There's some horseradish. There's a packing table and some extra garlic, yacon, lots of ochas, more ochas. Here are some of the Madeira vine, apios, and Chinese artichokes. There's some more tubers in the corner, some of the olocus, and some more oca, and all of the mashuas. So this greenhouse here, and here's the mother. She makes sure that the mice don't come in here and nibble at our tubers, or even take the seeds out of the trays. So these tables here are normally used in the summertime to propagate plants, but what we're going to do is 2 of them we're going to turn into heated tables. And we got the idea from Charles and Shannon from the Bull on Ark. If you haven't seen their place yet, take a look at the tour that we gave on our YouTube channel, and I put a link below. So we're going to have some heated tables here, basically, with in order to start seeds even in the winter time, and root cuttings in the winter too. So we can actually be much more productive and use this space even more efficiently than it has been used already. And you can see there are some of the willows here we're preparing. We had quite a large order of willow cuttings, which will be used to plant a wildlife friendly hedge with plenty of willow flowers every springtime, and you get good coverage very quickly because they grow extremely fast as well. And so yeah, so we're going to be able to keep some of the more frost sensitive plants here in this greenhouse then next winter, and we're looking to build our Wallapini as well, hopefully next year in 21. So I'll just show you the chickens over here. There's another willow arch you can see. That's the original horseshoe garden if you're interested, and the top garden as well. Here we're building our chicken pen. This will be the permanent chicken pen, and we're going to go with the deep litter mulch approach, basically a foot of wood chips, and then the chickens will work their way through it and make compost, and it's very hygienic as well. You can see they've just got another piece of ground now, and here's their coops. We just moved the fence yesterday, so we're still having to readjust the doors. And this is the pizza garden, as many of you would have seen in our other videos previously. I recommend you guys checking it out if you haven't seen how this garden was made. It is really productive. I mean, even now in the winter time, and particularly in the winter time, we've been getting a lot of produce from this small piece of ground, which is only about 8 by 10 meters or so, probably slightly smaller than the average allotment size in the UK. And as you can see, it is still full of produce. Here we have some purple sprouting broccoli, which we'll get a flush of in springtime. And there's a American elder in the back, some fennel, oca, ullucus, and yacon, celery, a few more bits and pieces here. There is some more tuberous vegetables here, some kohlrabi that was left standing a bit too long, but they're still good. And here we have some orphrey, or broad balls they're known as. It's actually a Benelux vegetable. It's a tuberous leek. And you can see there are some of the kales, dinosaur kale, beetroots, and so on. Thanks for watching the video. We'd appreciate it very much if you give us a thumbs up if you liked it, and please follow us if you want to. And again, happy Christmas and a productive new year, and an abundant new year, I should say. All the best. Bye bye.